Hello and welcome to Not Your Mother's Midlife Crisis. I'm Chris and this is my co-host Chris.
Hello, Chris. How are you doing on this finally sunny day?
Finally, 2 days of
Yes.
sun
Uh-huh.
after I don't know, 7, 8 days of nothing but misty rain and darkness.
It gives hope. Hope
Yes.
that the warm weather is
And
coming and it's here to stay.
and we got our time change.
Yes.
So we got
Hmm.
an hour extra of sunlight, though we lost an hour of International Women's Day.
Yes.
But,
I know.
we're going to work on it.
Yeah.
We're going to keep working on it.
Uh-huh.
So we are so lucky today.
Hmm.
We have Leslie Joy Dammer with us. She is a master esthetician and founder of SkinLiv Regenerative Aesthetics and the founder and formulator, I found this so
Ooh.
interesting, of the skincare line SkinLiv.
And Leslie is up on all the cutting edge treatments and helping women repair their skin's natural functions. So welcome to Not Your Mother's Midlife Crisis, Leslie.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Mhm.
Leslie, is there anything in that intro that we missed that you'd like our listeners to know about you?
Not really. I mean, I think that I'll reveal who I am over the next hour or so. I'm sure you
Absolutely.
guys have all the questions for me. I might want to say that this is like a third career for me. So I've been a lifelong learner. And so I kind of morphed when I felt like I needed to morph into this. And I'll tell you that story down the road.
Okay, well, that's
Oh, that's
there
awesome.
you go.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. Can you
Thank
please
you.
tell us how you got started on your aesthetic career? We'll lead in with that.
So I'm actually doing my aesthetic career in Newport Beach, California, and that's actually also a change for me. I've only been out in California for about 16 years, and I come from Jersey, so I'm a Jersey girl
Oh, how
originally.
about
Yay, we
that?
love Jersey girls.
So as you're talking about the weather back east, I mean it was 89 yesterday.
Ugh.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I moved originally to California because I have one son and he had gone to college out here and he wanted me to be closer to him. So I moved and I had just sold a business, a previous business, and I was in my late 40s and I started to think about all the things I might want to try for anti-aging. And I thought that a lot of them are so cost prohibitive that I thought, I need a new career. I'll morph myself. I'm in California and I'll get in on the inside. So I really decided to just get into the aesthetic business. So I was previously a chef and I was retired from being a chef. And I started to interview for jobs as a patient care coordinator for plastic surgery offices. And somehow I wouldn't get those jobs. We have a very different East Coast hustle attitude, and sometimes it doesn't match with West Coast. And for whatever reason, I wasn't getting those jobs. So I decided that I would kind of get into aesthetics through the back door, which was I decided to go to esthetician school. It's a very, very short school, takes about 4 months. And you really come out with the knowledge to pass the aesthetics exam, but you really need to get boots on the ground and learn the aesthetics industry in order to be a skin specialist. And that's really what I set out to do. I quickly went to aesthetic school while I was being a chef, private chef during the day. I was going to aesthetic school at night. And by the time I got out of school, my first job was an esthetician for a med spa in Encino, California. And within 2 weeks of working at that med spa, they asked me to manage the entire med spa.
Wow.
So I became esthetician manager of the aesthetics, of the medical aesthetics part of that up and running.
Yes.
Still seems like, how you got from being a chef to I'm just going to try this to owning your own company and creating a skincare line.
And it's really like what we've been talking about, and we've had different guests about finding your purpose, your third act. Really, kind of, I know that we knew like what's your niche, and
Oh, yeah.
and
Patricia
really
Drain. Yeah.
and doing kind of what you love and pursuing that. So this is great. It's great to hear your story.
I think like even every single day that I'm in my practice, people say to me, and I had a client yesterday morning say to me, wow, you're so joyful. Like you are doing what you're supposed to do. And I work a lot of hours. I work my books are open 7 days a week. I'm not in the business of saying no to people. I want I'm in a service business and I want to see as many people as I can see. And I want to get my hands on as many people as I can. I love what I do. This is really the pinnacle, and I don't know if this is the last thing. I'm 64 years old. I got into aesthetics at 49. And I don't know if this is the last thing, but I am becoming an expert in my industry, and I'm getting seen as that, which is flattering and nice. And I think I have so much skincare knowledge that I really approach things in a different way. And my business has morphed through these years. Each move I've made in my business, I've made for a very strategic reason, just because I feel like I need to have all the components in my business that I have to be sustainable in this industry.
I love that. I love that you at 49 are an example of you're just started a whole new life and you're loving it and enjoying it and thriving. And that's a great example. And that's what I think all of us women need to see. So
Yeah.
congrats to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you started this 16 years ago. What was your vision then? And how has it changed or has it changed to what your vision is now?
When I got started, I had no idea I would own my own business, but I think I'm not a good employee. So I think I think I need to be the boss.
You're a Jersey girl. You
Yeah.
have opinions.
Yeah, I'm not a good employee, and I'm especially not a good employee in California because it's just I have this Jersey attitude, right? So, and I but I also respect that I needed to draw information from each scenario along the way. So in my leading up to 10 years ago when I started SkinLiv, I worked at a couple different places and each one of them was strategically different so that I could draw on that type of information on how you run an aesthetic business. So I worked for a med spa first, and that was a doctor who was an emergency care doctor who just had a medical aesthetic business on the side. It was purely for profit. And then I went to work for a plastic surgeon who had a skincare aesthetic business as part of his plastic surgery. After that, I went to work for a celebrity esthetician, and that was pretty off the wall. That was like everybody from Hollywood coming in and being charged the most insane prices you've ever seen and maybe not getting what they pay for, right? So a lot of hype with probably not a lot of result. And then I felt like the one thing that I was missing is that I needed a corporate spa experience. So I actually managed a spa with hand treatment and an entire team of practitioners for wellness and skincare close by to where I actually operate right now. And I did that for about a year and a half. And in the last 4 months or so, I was hunting for my location and I was a little scared. I don't always feel scared in life, but I was, for some reason, a little bit scared because I had never owned like a retail and open to the public storefront business before, that's open every day of the week. I just had never done that before. I had never even really leased a location for a business since I was like in my late 20s, like leased a spot and had an actual operation. And that was just back then was a commercial kitchen. But this was going to be client public facing, this business.
Yeah.
And I'm a Virgo, right? So if you know anything about Virgos, they have to work in a beautiful space if they're going to be in the space every day. So I needed to build a beautiful space. And I also kind of run my life according to something that people might find a little bit strange, but the numbers have to work for me. I do everything according to numerology, which is kind of crazy, but somebody influenced my life and told me that I should do things in a certain way with numbers, and I do things with numbers. And so I was looking for a specific number place to work out of, and I was looking for everything to align, and I found that, and I built it out quickly. Like within 60 days of leasing my place, I had my treatment room set up and I started. And the crazy thing about my business was I was profitable from day one because I built a very bootstrap business And through the years, I have made it more beautiful and I have added to it, but I started out like with bare bones. So
But did you have a vision for women's skincare that you wanted to do differently than what your experience had been, whether it be with the plastic surgeon or the high-end celebrity esthetician? Did you have a different vision?
I had a totally different vision. And I'm glad you asked that. So, what I've seen in the industry is a lot of people who are driven for money. It's a greed driven industry. And I have to always lead with honesty and I have to lead with intention. So I knew that in this crazy world of people chasing after beauty and also chasing after knowing what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and also chasing after someone who's going to tell them, stop, you don't look good anymore. Like you're starting to look crazy or like overdone. I was chasing all those things to be the opposite of that. I wanted to be honesty, I wanted to be moderate, and I wanted to be affordable. And I also wanted to teach people what are the only proven, scientifically proven things that you need to do to basically age positively and to know that you're doing the best you can for yourself in a market that's filled with TikTok videos and influencers telling you that you need to put this snail goo on your face and that you need to draw up your blood and put your PRP on your face for a vampire facial.
I'm going for
And
my third one today.
yeah, and you know, you need to have like beef tallow on your face, and that's gonna do everything for you. So like I want to weed through that for people and I want to tell
Mhm.
them the truth first. I
Okay.
believe that when you tell people the truth, you're gonna have a good business. And you don't have to charge a ton of money to make a really good living if you're telling people the truth.
So that's a really good thing. That was one of my questions that I had for you is what are your thoughts on this overdone era? We see it all the time. People actually are getting a lot of the stuff done and they look older than their actual age.
I see a lot of people that work in the industry and they do their own treatments. Like I see a lot of dermatologists and they do their own treatments and they look overdone. I see a lot of nurses who are in our industry that, you know, do a lot of stuff to themselves and they look very overdone. And it's mostly because they don't have somebody telling them the truth. They don't have somebody that tells them to stop. So when I do a consultation and I bring people in, I tell probably out of 20 consultations in a week, I probably have to tell two or three people, you don't need this. This is not something you need. Or there is a fine line in skin between constantly being aggravated and irritated and where that starts to make you look older and actually like feeding the skin and treating it in a delicate way. So I'm constantly having to tell people what they should do and what they shouldn't do because people think that more is better. Like that's the society we're in, right? You know, more filler, more frozen, more topical treatments, more retin-A. It's the skin should not be in a constant state of irritation. Sometimes you should be building up your barrier and letting your skin be calm, hydrated, and cycling new collagen.
So that would bring me to like what are like most successful? Like what treatments are you excited to do for your clients? And like what are the ones that are most successful to help women fight aging? I think I saw Zerf on your because they're very different on the East Coast from the West Coast.
It is. I'll talk about Zerf first, but it's probably the end of my, you
Okay.
Okay,
know, it's
yeah.
probably late in my business, right? So, but I'll give them a free plug. I don't think they need a free plug, but I'm going to give them a free plug because it's actually a lovely, lovely treatment and it's a huge rage. And yes, I I I was I guess happy to see that Miss Kardashian got it done last week. but I already was riding the Zerf wave. I there was an FDA approval on Zerf on August 30th, which was a Friday. The rep from that company came in to see me on Monday, and he was talking to me about getting microneedling with radio frequency. So lots of people know that treatment as
I
Morpheus
was gonna
8.
say Morpheus 8. I've
Mhm.
had Morpheus 8, yes.
Okay. So Morpheus 8 is quite painful, and a lot of people are turned off by how painful it is. And Morpheus 8 has technology which is bipolar radio frequency, where basically the radio frequency, it has a single frequency. It'll come through the handpiece to the needle, bounce over to the next needle, and then go back to the insertion, right where it starts. And that causes the pain. It's the crossing between two needles and the frequency and the depth of frequency and the fact that there's a needle in your face that is transmitting this heat and this frequency that actually hurts. So on the Monday after Zerf was FDA cleared, it had already been cleared a year before in Canada. It had been 2 years in South Korea. It's really basically a South Korean company. Gets cleared on a Friday. They come in on Monday. They tell me about it. I've never heard about it. I do it. I never make decisions on the day of seeing something. I sleep on everything that I decide. And it's an over $100,000 investment. And I tell the rep that I'm not going to buy radio frequency with microneedling, which is called Potenza. He has Potenza in his line of devices. And I said, the reason I'm not going to buy it is because it hurts and it's invasive. And women are frankly sick of invasive and they're sick of pain. I said, I need something that doesn't hurt and it's non-invasive. So I'll let you know tomorrow morning. And I took a deep dive into South Korea and what was going on with Zerf in South Korea. And I bought it, the first person in California to buy the device on the Tuesday morning. And I put myself under the location on their website that you could get it. So I listed myself as a physician medical provider with my medical director, my nurse practitioner, and myself all down as providers. And I got the device on September 16th, which was my birthday. And I feel like it was a birthday present for me because it I got trained on the morning of the 17th, and I already had 2 appointments booked for the night of the 17th. And these are $2,000 a piece treatments. So
Wow.
my business brought in $4,000 on the first day that I was operating, sir. And it's incredible. It does not hurt. It is new technology. It is unique technology. So it is monopolar with 2 frequencies, and those frequencies hit in the shallow part of your dermis and the deep part of your dermis, and they never make it to where the fat is in your face. So no matter how high you turn it up, it will not destroy fat. It will hurt if you turn it too high, but it basically feels like you're getting a hot stone massage. And if you saw the videos of Kim Kardashian getting it, you see she's just laying there and enjoying it. And you really do just lay there and enjoy it. And it lifts and tightens your face. And over the course that neocollagenesis takes in your face, which could be 3 to 6 months, depending on your age, you're improving every day. So you're basically waking up and you leave the appointment looking much better than you looked when you got to the appointment. And you're lifted and you're plumped that day. And then for about 4 days, you're in this Cinderella. And then you kind of like look in the mirror 5 days later and you're like, it's pretty good, but I'm not thrilled. And then every couple of days, you start to look in the mirror and you're like, wow, I'm improving. And you're actually improving because your body is building its own collagen back that it has lost.
Wow. So that sounds like it would be worth it. Do you think that it's worth it?
I wake up every morning in my business. You can book online with me. And I am pretty shocked that I wake up every morning. I grab my cell phone, I see my schedule for the day. You can't really book in less than 12 hours with me, but I wake up every day with 4 or 5 Zerfs booked from my website.
Wow. Well, it's
And
worth it for
people are
you.
booking.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
worth it for me. It's worth it for the people that have it. It is said that you need to do 2 treatments. I offer a little discount on the second treatment because it takes a lot longer to do the first treatment, because on that first treatment, you're finding out people's levels
Okay.
and you're charting that. So you know their levels for the second treatment, so it moves a little bit fast. It's kind of a long treatment. It probably takes an hour and 20 minutes to get the first one done. Probably an hour and 10 minutes to get the second one done. But I think what blows me away and is what is new for me, right? If you get a facial with me, the facial is probably 230 or $250. So people book that online, right? It's 230, 250. You go online, you might not know me, you'll book that. People book me for a $2,000 treatment and they've never met me and they've never talked to me.
That is, yeah, that
That blows
blows
my
your
mind.
mind.
That blows my mind. It's a new thing for me, right? Because I do have an ablative laser, but because that's a medical treatment and it's invasive and it's, deeply invasive, you can't book that on my website. You have
You
to
need a
book a
consult.
consult.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
to, and you need medical clearance. So my doctor has to give you a good faith exam in order for you to have that with the nurse or with my doctor. But so people are talking with me a lot and I'm spending a lot of time telling them whether they should do it or what they should do with that. That's new technology too. So I probably have the 2 cutting edge technologies in the whole industry, which is ultra clear laser biochloro, which is the first of its class cold fiber erbium laser. So it is the equivalent of a CO2 laser with no heat and really short healing time. And then I have Zur that's completely non-invasive. And you walk out of there looking like somebody dialed back 5 years off your face. And probably in 3 months, somebody dialed 10 years off your face. So 2 new
Wow.
technologies that are really great.
So, Leslie, like when I looked up, I said, was that your website? And then I said, oh, I wonder if you can get that anywhere around here. No. Why is there such a big discrepancy between what's available on the East Coast and the West Coast?
So people are calling me from the East Coast because people know I'm from the East Coast. So people are saying, where can I get it in Connecticut? Where can I get it in New York? So when Zurf came to market, I believe, and you can't quote me on this, but I try to do my due diligence. There was only 66 devices in September. And then that was it. So who do you think's going to buy those devices? Like between Newport Beach and Beverly Hills, we are a hub for aesthetics in the United States. I know
Sure.
Miami is, and somebody in Miami definitely got it on the week that I got it, right? But nobody in New Jersey got it. Like I'm familiar with a big plastic surgery practice in the town that I grew up in, Florham Park, New Jersey. There's the Peer Group. And I was looking to see what devices they have, and they're well behind what we had out here. So there was only 66 devices. We're going to snatch them up in California because we have an engine, an aesthetic engine that's burning here. And people know we're a hub. Um, I don't know, could be connected to Hollywood, right? We do have a lot of celebrities who get a lot of stuff done, and we have some celebrity injectors and we have celebrity plastic surgeons. They did give 2 devices to 2 people in the industry. I paid for my device, right? So
Yeah.
they did they did give 2 devices to 2 plastic surgeons. I think one was, or no, actually one was an aesthetic injector who's Nurse Jamie, who's in Santa Monica. She's well
Okay.
known.
Yep.
They gave her the device. They gave a practice in Beverly Hills the device. The practice is owned by a plastic surgeon, Leaf Rogers. And I feel like I feel like it's funny when they give these devices to people because they will blow that device up for a week or 2 and then they're on to the next company that gave them a device. So I don't think you can always trust what they said. I have to make a decision a lot more slowly about a device if I'm paying $150,000 for a device or $225,000 for a device. Those have to be really well thought out decisions for me. And I have to have a book of business to support that device. And I would say that with Zurf, didn't really, my group of people that come to me, and I probably have an active 1,000 people that come to me constantly. and it's always growing. But I'm seeing strangers that I don't know with CERN. So that increased my business for sure. But you have to have a business to support these devices. And there weren't a lot of them in the US. I think January 1st, maybe they got another 100 devices. So spread across the United States, people are going to take those in hubs. And believe it or not, like Utah has a big aesthetic.
I can
Colorado
I
has a
can see that.
big, yeah.
So
Texas.
wait, does that
Yeah.
mean girls trip to Newport Beach,
Yeah,
California?
I was gonna say, when are we going to California? Well,
And if you understand my generosity, you probably do want to come to Newport Beach
Okay.
because I'm on your podcast and I will, we can do your faces and we can do an Instagram live and people would
Yeah.
love to see an
sure,
Instagram live. So
Yeah.
yeah.
that would be very
Uh-huh.
interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, so other than those 2, is there anything else that you are, like, super excited about or that's you feel successful for women for fighting aging in the treatment realm?
Yeah, so let's go back and let's talk about how I really got started. So I'll take you through this really quick because it's an explanation. So Skin LIV is Roman numerals for 54. I was 54 when I started the business. I took a deep dive into science and I found out that in my humble opinion, it takes 5 steps in the morning and 4 steps at night in your skincare routine to do everything you can possibly do to hope that you age positively. So I call those steps the SkinLiv steps. And I have had people on the SkinLiv steps for 10 years. I actually implemented those steps in the corporate spa experience before I implemented them in my business. I was able to impact my corporate spa, their sales of skincare. I was able to impact that in a great way. So I knew that when I went into my business and I was treating people on my treatment table, that I actually know that that's a small part of what they do when they're laying on my treatment table. I need them to do their homework and I needed to make the homework easy and quick. And so I tell people that they really have to invest about 3 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes at night. And they need to invest that time in using medical grade, cosmeceutical grade skincare on their face with scientifically backed, studied, and proven skincare. And so, what is that? It's pretty simple. And it's basically wash your face every morning and wash your face every night. I do believe in using a toner because I feel like when you wash your face, you can miss things and you also don't have your canvas, which is your face, as a neutral pH. So I say wash it, tone it, and then put on your biggest bang for your buck ingredient next. In the morning, that's going to be a vitamin C serum. Vitamin C serums have been studied for 25 years and they're proven they're antioxidants. They actually shield you from aging. And you have to use a vitamin C serum on your face in the morning. If you're not using it, you're missing out on something that's so special and so proven. And then after you put your vitamin C serum on in the morning, you should hydrate and moisturize. And then the big, big, big other step is SPF. And you'd be surprised how many people don't do those simple steps. And you can block out all the noise in the industry. You don't have to watch TikTok, but you got to do those steps, right? And then at night, it's wash, it's tone, and then you need to use some type of an exfoliant and something that causes cell cycling. So that's going to be an AHA or a retinoid. And there's a lot of retinoids in the market. And the older retinoids that came out 75 years ago, like Retin A, they're very harsh. We've come a very long way from retin. So you need to look at more lipid-based retinoids and then at night, the last step at night is moisturizing, but it's a very specific moisturizer. It's a moisturizer that has ceramides and lipids. And that is important because people that sleep with lipids on their face actually synthesize 33% more collagen while they're sleeping. And you build your barrier while you're sleeping. So you have to basically, that's where the beef tallow came about, is beef tallow tends to be more of an occludant Well, the reason why it works is because it helps you build collagen and it helps you keep your water in your face. So that's why people use beef tallow. But lipids that are clean and clear and really just lipids are a great product to put on your face as your last step. And they're scientifically proven, just like retinoids are, just like SPF is, just like vitamin C is. And the only thing that you need as another step is you need peptides, and they are scientifically proven. So I am formulating a peptide right now, and I'm launching my peptide as my 10-year anniversary gift to my clients. And so the reason I'm adding peptides is because they are significantly proven now, and they weren't always. But I want things that have 10 years of scientific proof, and they are now proven to work. So I'm adding peptides into my nighttime steps, and I'm formulating an amazing peptide right now. So, but that's really what I'm excited about. I'm excited about facials with peels. And peels are a broad, broad spectrum, right? They can be enzymes, they can be chemicals, they can be thousands of different things, but peels are things that speed up your cell cycle. As we get older, our cell cycling slows down. We need to speed it up. So getting facials is a great way to speed up your cell cycle. But doing your homework also is what you need to do to basically have the best skin of your life and to really put the brakes on that appearance of aging on your face.
So
So,
good.
and you started to talk about that, especially with your steps. So, please tell us about your skincare line.
So I decided that I should come up with my own skincare products as an anchor to bring people back. I figured if people could buy things from me that they couldn't get elsewhere, they would come back to me and buy their skincare. Because I found that in the beginning of my business, I was recommending skincare products. And in the age of e-commerce, I would take a lot of time to explain to people what to do, and I might put them on SkinCeuticals, which is probably one of my favorite vitamin C's, right? Or I could put them on a different type of retinoid. And after they've ordered from me, because of convenience and time, they just would buy it online. So basically, I lost that business, right? I take a lot of time to explain to people what to do and to recommend products. And I was not holding on to that share of the business because of e-commerce. And I used to work with lines that only sold through the physician or through the esthetician. But in the time of COVID, when people weren't coming to us anymore, everybody bought everything online. So we really lost all of our skincare sales. So I formulated one at a time because it's very costly to formulate products. I formulated all the products in the SkinLiv steps, and I formulated them in a way where I took all types of things I loved from other lines and put them into my line. And it's a painstaking process. Like it's very costly for a smaller business to formulate products because maybe the outlay on each product is $10,000, $15,000 just to get it off the ground, just to formulate it and get your first batch. But I have to tell you that is the smartest decision I ever made. And I have a lot of people anchored to my AHA pads. I have a ton of people anchored to my acne moisturizer. I have a lipid that is the last step you use at night. My lipid is the last step you use at night. It's called Live Lipids. Everything is LIV and whatever the product is. And Live Lipids is going to be my retirement. I'll probably sell enough Live Lipids to not be an esthetician and just sell Live Lipids. But
Good for you.
people are anchored to my business for the products. They're anchored to my business because of my fair pricing and because of my honesty.
It's
So,
great.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
very
was checking out
good.
the products and I was unsure. So now I know what to go back and look at.
Mhm.
So that's now I have all the information,
Yeah.
all I needed.
Whatever you want to try. I mean, certainly you guys will get my peptide. It's called Live X. X is for 10 on
Yeah.
April. On April the 14th,
Okay.
will be my 10-year anniversary, and on April the
Congrats.
15th, I'm having a 10-year anniversary party. And I don't want to invite people to my 10-year anniversary party to celebrate my 10-year anniversary party. I actually want to celebrate my people, because without the people, I don't have a 10-year anniversary. I'm at that party. I'm going to give everybody the pep, and I want everybody to try it, and I know they'll buy it again because it is necessary. And I formulate things that are lovely, feel good, and give good results. So like I know that that'll be the launch of that product, and it'll be a successful product for me.
Oh,
I
that's
mostly
great.
want to give a gift. Like I love giving gifts. I'm super generous, and I just enjoy giving people gifts. So I'm
You
excited
That's
for that.
awesome.
you're
Well,
so gracious and you
and
love what you do.
April is both our
Yeah,
birthday
both of our
months, so
birthday in
it's
April.
very appropriate.
Yeah,
That's good.
we might have to make it out then.
Yeah.
April's a good month for a birthday.
Yes.
So, we're going to move on a little bit differently. So, just what trends would you tell people to be cautious of? Like, what is out there right now that you're seeing on TikTok or, on all those reels that you're like, that's really a bad idea for people's skin, but they're doing it anyway.
I think that micro needling your face at home is a really scary trend. Um, I think that the micro needling devices that are sold for micro needling your face at home cause a lot of micro tears in your skin instead of like appropriate punctures. And I think a lot of people don't know how to properly prepare their skin for a treatment like that that's invasive at home. And I think a lot of people are getting infections.
Mhm.
That's what I was just going to say. I'm like, isn't there a huge risk of infection?
Yes.
I would never do that.
Yeah, I mean, the way we prep skin for even Zerk, it's not even invasive, but the way I prep the skin is like I'm going to do a surgery on something.
Yeah.
So I think, facial rollers, if you think about a roller, as the needles come down towards your face, they don't stamp your face. They actually tear little holes in your face. I think facial rollers are a trend that I've never been a fan of. Like I said, micro needling at home. People buy micro needling devices online. I'm shocked by what people buy online. Also, get their hands on professional strength chemical peels.
No.
People do TCA peels at home. I had a situation where I was going to laser a person's face, and they were medically cleared and ready to come in. And the night before they came in, she said to me, "My sister told me that I should really mention to you that I did a TCA peel to myself last week." And I said,
Yeah.
"Yes, you should mention that to me. You actually won't be having a laser tomorrow." And I was like, "You knew you were going to have a laser for 2 weeks. What would make you think that you should do a TCA peel a week before a laser?" And the answer is always the same with people. People that use Retin-A all the way up to the end before they're going to get a treatment, or people who do peels at home before treatments, they think that somehow they can make the treatment go deeper. But the worst thing in the world you can do is try to make your treatment go deeper. If I want to make your treatment deeper, I need to make that
Mhm.
decision, but not you.
So, just because this is a question my daughter and I always have when we're going for facials or microneedling, how long should you stop using a retinol before you have a treatment like that?
I mean, my treatments are not fluffy. These are not hotel facials, right? They're results driven treatments. I say a week before you should probably not use your retinoid. Even you probably shouldn't even use alpha hydroxy acids a week before. You shouldn't be scrubbing your face a week before. You should go into a facial with a pretty good barrier.
Okay.
You should definitely go into your face. You should go in with a good barrier, the best barrier you can, because in a facial, we're actually going to take back that stratum corneum. Like we're attacking that.
Okay.
We want to break through that stratum corneum to get your treatment. So, yeah, I think people, they you have to have a budget for this stuff. And so part of the reason why I think people are looking for things online is because it has to meet their budget. So they're looking for something, right, to meet their budget. I tell people maybe save up and get that one facial so that you can get into a room with me and I can teach you. It's a teaching facial. And then I'll tell you what to do. If you love when people come to me and say, you know what, I don't have a budget for facials. And I was like, okay, let me set you on a journey of your own that can serve you properly.
That's really great.
And I'll take a lot of time with somebody to do that. If you read about me, people write the story of me on my reviews, right? You know, they talk about the time that I take. There's no time that's enough time for me to give to somebody that says I can't afford facial. I'm going to give them my time because I want to set them on the right journey. And I'll jump on Amazon with them. I'm like, open up your Amazon account. I'll show them what they can get, like, because I'm not getting that income from them. My heart, I want them on the right journey. I don't want them on TikTok. The latest thing that people are doing now is they're coming in and they're telling me what Chat GPT told them to do for their skincare. Yeah. And it's funny, I use that for my benefit and I actually use that for their benefit. So I actually said, you need to ask it the right way, right? So
Okay.
if you go into AI and you ask it, these are the key words you need to say. What are the only scientifically proven
There you go.
for aging positively with skincare? And honestly, they're going to tell you what I just told you. They're going to tell you cleanse your face. They're going to leave out the toner. They're going to tell you cleanse, vitamin C, moisturize, SPF. And they're going to tell you at night cleanse, alpha hydroxy, retinoid, peptide. That's why I'm adding it. They're going to say peptide. And they're going to say a lipid based moisturizer.
Wow.
That's it.
So
There's
then-
nothing else. So stop
Okay.
searching, right?
As a follow-up, is there any other skin education that you think is important for women 40 plus to know? You talked about the steps, but is there anything else? I know we covered a lot.
We did cover a lot. No, I feel like you like I'll circle back to that. I feel like people should just go to someone that they find that is very reputable and known to be a teacher of skincare and just get that advice, right? Get that advice from somebody, read their reviews and get advice from a professional and ask them. Like just be honest with them. Like if it's not something that you can afford to do on a monthly basis, just ask them to guide you and tell you what to do. I think, I'm glad I'm putting it out there more. I think, on my Instagram, I do put it out there a lot with education about what people need to do. And I think people, they know from that. But I feel like I'm kind of few and far between in the fact that I'm going to help people and I'm going to be really honest about what are like the bare bones, like what's the structure of a good skincare routine. I think that's what you need to ask. You need to come asking those kind of questions because, we have to do things within our budget. And as women, we have to have a budget, right? We want to be successful and we want to be smart with our money. And the thing you don't want to do is waste your money. So,
right. And you want results. Yes. You want to see,
you
not
want
spend a lot
results.
of money and you want to
Mhm.
see some results. So
Yep,
it's great.
absolutely.
So is there anything that we missed or didn't cover that you feel is important for our listeners in anything related to skincare?
I think that I pretty much covered everything with that.
I think so.
So,
Yeah.
I think I pretty much covered everything. I tried to get as much information in there as they can.
I
I
know
think
you
people will
did.
be like, people will be filling in their steps now, which is what I
That's
want.
right.
I know. And that's what we wanted to
Oh,
ask you.
I have
Where
to,
can our audience find your products?
www.skinliv.com.
That's great. And we'll
Yeah.
definitely put it in our show notes.
that will be in our show notes. And would you like to share any of your social media with us as well?
I think, the biggest platform for me is Instagram. It works really well. So my Instagram is just at SkinLiv.
Okay.
And I I talk about different treatments that I have, and you'll kind of get to know my personality, and you'll just see different things. I'm not that active right now just because I'm really slammed. Like, I can only say that the ZERF has been, I wasn't ready for that wave, but it's been crazy. So I've really been in the treatment room a lot lately. But like I said, I'm working this week on finishing that formulation of the peptide, and I'll be doing like a lot of stuff about that and why it works, a lot of the science behind it. But I think people can get the tone of who I am from my Instagram, and just, reading my reviews tells a lot of, and if you read my reviews, you'll see what people are doing, right? Because they mention what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we post a lot of before and afters, and there's a lot more before and afters coming. We just got a camera called Aura Reality, which takes a 3D picture of your face and compares you to like a pool of like 1 million people. And it tells you how you're doing on your texture, your pores, your wrinkles, your redness, your brown spots.
Interesting.
It tells you how you're doing on sagging. And so it actually backs up what I say. I like it because it backs up what I say about a person. Like, if I say you should work on your lower face, I should be able to prove that to you with the measurements of your lower face. It shouldn't be an opinion. It should be a fact. So we're doing a lot of better before and afters now because of Aura Reality. And we're showing people, even after their treatments, what we improve. We're also showing people after they use the skincare product for 90 days, what we improved. And we're able to scientifically prove that to them. So, I mean, I think my mission is really honesty and not selling people things that don't work, and just showing them the proof that what they're doing is a good investment and it's working.
That's great.
Terrific.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, for your education, everything that you shared with the two of us and with all our listeners. I
Yes.
definitely really learned a lot.
Yeah, we're grateful. And I definitely feel like we got a great education. I'm excited to share
Mhm.
this with our listeners. It's going to be very helpful to
And I
everybody.
definitely need to change my routine.
Yeah, I need to add that fifth step. And I'm going to be going
I'm
over the
missing some
lipids.
steps,
Yeah, I
yes.
just need
Uh-huh.
the lipids. So,
Yes.
so
And
thank
the toner. I
yes.
need
Oh,
toner.
toner.
Mhm.
I'll send you guys an email and
Okay.
get your addresses. Where are you located? Where are you actually located?
We're in Brigantine. We're right outside Atlantic City. So it's
So you guys are in Jersey.
Yes.
oh yeah,
we're Jersey
we're
girls.
Jersey girls. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
I did not know that
Oh,
until
yes.
now. So
Yes.
that's
Uh-huh.
so
That's why we were
interesting.
so excited. Yes.
That's why we
so-
said we were so excited that you're a
You're a
Jersey
Jersey
girl.
girl,
We're
yeah.
both born in
Oh my God, so
born in Jersey.
I'm speaking in your voice and your
Yes.
language.
But we're totally with you.
Uh-huh.
We
Yeah.
get you.
It's funny because people really pick up on that in California. It's like we are different, and so sometimes I have to tone it down a little, right?
Not
I-
today.
No.
Give us
I
a-
hope I
we'll
never
take it
lose
all.
that, right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's my roots. So
Awesome.
I really
Yes.
am proud of that.
So, well, thank you again. We're super grateful. We will have all of your information in our show notes. We're very grateful to you. We're grateful to our other, yes,
Mhm.
we're grateful to our affiliates, the Pelvic Floor Store, Patricia Drain, Your Gift is Your Niche, and underoutfit.com.
Yes. And remember, we have our merchandise that you can order. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And don't forget to download.
Oh, the download.
The
Download
download.
and share and like.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. And until next week, where we continue to seek answers for women's health care.
And support one another. Thank
Thank
you.
you.